WiredScore runs Wired Certification, which is a digital connectivity rating system for the commercial real estate industry. So what that means is we rate individual buildings on how well connected they are to the internet. We founded about 5 years ago in New York, and we've since opened offices in London, Berlin, and Paris. I think one of the interesting things that we're seeing is that while in the past the internet was important to businesses, in the future it's going to be the fundamental lifeblood of modern day business. While it might not be something that people think about every day, when it goes wrong and when it gets frustrating, it can be enormously annoying for businesses. The average business loses about $300,000 for every hour that the internet goes out. So landlords need to really make sure that they understand how well connected their office buildings are, so they can attract the kind of occupiers that they want now and in the future. The property sector is having to respond quite quickly to the changing business models that occupiers are demanding and the digital connectivity requirements that have been caused by that. If you think about your average building, it's a really big fixed asset. Where, however, if you look at the way that the modern economy is changing, tenants demand more and more flexibility. Modern businesses are changing all the time. They don't know what they are going to need in the future. So one part of a real estate company's response to that can be great digital connectivity, because that gives you the kind of flexibility that a big building otherwise doesn't have. In the past, we've seen business models causing requirements for new digital connectivity. Moving into cloud computing has meant that people really need the same kind of upload speed as they have download speed. So you've needed to move away from slower copper technologies and onto synchronous fiber technologies. In the future, we're going to see that even more. As people adopt artificial intelligence, and augmented reality and virtual reality, they're going to require much faster speeds and much lower latencies to allow them to take advantage of future business models. WiredScore calibrates the way in which we rate buildings to each local market that we're in. One of the interesting things that we normally look for in buildings is that they have diverse power feeds, so that there's very little chance that the power will go down in a building. However, when we started working in Berlin, we worked out that the only place that you could actually be able to get diverse power feeds was right along the line of the old Berlin Wall, being fed from the East German power station and the West German power station. These are the kind of nuances that we need to take into account when making sure that we're really reflecting the lived experience of tenants. I think that digital connectivity is incredibly exciting right now because it's going to underpin what a lot of the modern world looks like. We don't know what the business models of the future are going to be, but I'm absolutely certain it's going to rely on fantastic next generation digital connectivity.